And it was similar to my own show. It's a bunch of guests at the same time. So I did the first show. I thought it went well. But then I got a call from the head honcho at the radio station wanting to take me out for lunch to discuss that show and maybe give me some advice.
Graham Norton just shocked everyone by finally spilling the truth about 7 of his most nightmare guests from his show's legendary golden era. For years, fans kept begging him to name his worst celebrity encounters, but he always played it safe. He didn't want to ignite Hollywood drama. Well, the wait is over. Graham's dropping names, and the stories behind them are wild. This man has sat across from hundreds of A-listers on his iconic talk show, creating a mix of sharp humor, cozy chats, and those unforgettable viral moments that made him a TV legend. His secret? He's got this magical way of loosening up even the stiffest celebs until they show their real selves. That's exactly why his show became a worldwide obsession. Viewers tuned in not just for the laughs, but for those unpredictable, jaw-dropping moments that made everything feel real. But here's the twist. Behind all that fun, not every star came ready to play nice. Some guests showed up with attitudes colder than a London winter, acting like they'd rather be anywhere else. What was supposed to be a night of laughs sometimes turned into pure, awkward chaos. Over the years, Graham's dropped hints about which guests pushed his patience to the limit, and once in a while, he even admitted who made the show feel like torture. Now at 62, Graham's done sugarcoating things. He's naming names. He's exposing the 6 stars who made him regret ever booking them, and the reasons behind it will leave you stunned. He's calling out those interviews as pure agony, and when you hear why, you won't believe how bad it got. Let's rewind a bit. Graham William Norton, born April 4th, 1963 in Clondalkin, Dublin, grew up in Bandon, County Cork. His dad, Billy Walker, worked selling Guinness products, while his mom, Rhoda, was a school teacher. Even as a kid, Graham stood out, smart, quick-witted, and bursting with curiosity. A born entertainer, he couldn't resist making people laugh, even when he was supposed to be serious. At Bandon Grammar School, teachers and classmates quickly noticed his spark for performing. Though quiet at times, he could light up any room the second he started cracking jokes. After school, he headed to University College Cork to study English and French, but let's be honest, his heart wasn't in the books. He was dreaming of the spotlight, not the library. So he made a bold move, dropping out before finishing his degree and packing up for London to chase his big break in entertainment. Life there was tough. He juggled odd jobs, dealt with money struggles, and trained at the Central School of Speech and Drama, fighting through every obstacle that came his way. But that grind shaped him. It built the wit, grit, and charm that would one day define his talk show stardom. During those early London years, he reinvented himself, ditching his birth name and stepping into his new identity, Graham Norton, the name that would soon echo through British television history. Even when things looked rough, his determination never wavered. He kept pushing, kept laughing, and kept showing up until the world finally noticed. What started as a broke comedian's hustle turned into one of the biggest glow-ups in entertainment. From the grind of London's comedy clubs to hosting one of the most iconic shows ever, Graham Norton's rise wasn't just impressive, it was legendary. And now, after all those years of keeping it classy, he's ready to spill every last drop of the tea. The rise of Graham Norton wasn't just a career move, it was a full-blown takeover of British TV. After finishing his drama training, he hit London's gritty comedy circuit, performing in cramped clubs and offbeat theaters packed with locals looking for a laugh. Those early years were chaotic, filled with bombs, breakthroughs, and plenty of hard-earned lessons. But every stumble sharpened his timing and his fire. He crafted a comedy style that was a perfect mix of razor-sharp punchlines, playful self-mockery, and an irresistible warmth that made people feel like they knew him personally. That combo became his secret weapon, the charm that would carry him straight into TV royalty. Then came the big moment that changed everything. In the early 90s, his quick wit started turning heads, and by 1996, fate came knocking. He filled in as a temporary host on Channel 5's Jack Doherty show, and boom, one night was all it took. His fast humor, mischievous grin, and smooth charisma had both producers and viewers begging for more. Just 2 years later, in 1998, So Graham Norton premiered on Channel 4, and it exploded onto the scene. This wasn't your cookie-cutter talk show. It was bold, unpredictable, and laugh-out-loud outrageous. Celebrities walked in expecting polite chats, but ended up in wild, hilarious situations they never saw coming. From audience antics to off-the-cuff games, every episode was pure entertainment chaos. Graham's quick wit and cheeky energy didn't just win hearts, it won him multiple BAFTAs. The follow-up show, V. Graham Norton, took things even higher, locking in his title as one of TV's most fearless and fun hosts. He had this genius ability to flip awkward silences into gold and make celebs share the kind of juicy stories they'd never dare reveal anywhere else. Then came 2007, the year everything went global. The BBC came calling with an offer too good to refuse, his own primetime show, The Graham Norton Show. It kicked off on BBC Two, but quickly upgraded to BBC One, where it blew up into a worldwide sensation. What made it different? Graham tossed every old-school talk show rule out the window. Instead of stiff one-on-one interviews, he threw all his guests on the same couch, mixing A-listers into spontaneous, hilarious chaos. No scripts, no filters, just pure fun and outrageous honesty. The show became a viral machine, pumping out unforgettable clips that took over social media. And Graham didn't stop there. He went on to host massive TV moments like the Eurovision Song Contest, BBC's New Year's Eve specials, and his own radio show on Virgin Radio. No matter the stage, he kept his signature energy, clever, charming, and just the right amount of unpredictable. That's the secret behind his success, the ability to make everyone feel part of the fun while keeping things real. Graham Norton's rise proves that staying authentic, pushing through the rough patches, and knowing exactly when to crack a joke can turn any dreamer into a global icon. But even legends have their limits, and now he's done staying quiet about the stars who pushed him there. He's finally revealing the 5 guests who drove him absolutely mad on his own show. And at the top of that list, Mickey Rourke. When Rourke appeared on the Graham Norton Show, the entire vibe crashed instantly. Usually, Graham's couch buzzes with laughter, quick banter, and wild chemistry. But that night, it was like the air got sucked out of the room. From the second Mickey sat down, it was obvious he didn't want to be there. His answers were short, his tone was flat, and he barely looked at anyone. It was painful to watch. Graham had to work overtime just to keep that painful interview from collapsing. He asked Mickey Rourke 2, 3, even 4 follow-up questions trying to spark something, but it only made things worse. The tension in the studio was thick enough to cut with a knife. Those long, awkward silences felt endless, and the audience could barely breathe. It wasn't just what Rourke said, it was how he acted. He slouched deep into his chair, dodged every bit of eye contact, and gave off major, "I don't want to be here" energy. The usual spark that makes the show pop? Gone. Completely gone. Graham was basically carrying the whole thing on his back, talking nonstop just to fill the silence. What should have been a fun, playful chat turned into one of the most uncomfortable moments in the show's entire history. Even the audience could feel how off it was. Later, Graham himself admitted that interview nearly broke him. It was that bad. Now, moving on to number 2, Mark Wahlberg. Oh, this one is infamous. His 2013 appearance on The Graham Norton Show is still talked about to this day, and not for the right reasons. Fans tuned in expecting Mark's usual cool charm, but what they got was absolute chaos. Unlike Rourke, Mark wasn't quiet or bored. He was the total opposite. The man came in way too hyped up and, let's just say, not exactly sober. From the second he joined Graham and Sarah Silverman on that red couch, it was clear he'd had more than just a drink. His energy was off the charts. He kept cutting people off, cracking random jokes, and completely throwing the rhythm of the show off track. What started as fun and flirty quickly spiraled into pure confusion. Graham kept trying to rein him in, while Sarah Silverman just sat there, wide-eyed, looking like she couldn't believe what she was seeing. And then came the moment that turned the internet upside down. Mark suddenly climbed onto Graham's lap. Yup, he wrapped an arm around him, started rambling through a bunch of slurred jokes, and the crowd didn't know whether to laugh or hide behind their hands. The energy was wild, but not in a good way. It was that kind of awkward you feel in your bones. Graham, ever the professional, smiled and tried to keep the show on track, but you could see it in his face. He was dying inside, trying to stay composed. Even Sarah, who's known for her bold and edgy humor, looked genuinely stunned by how off the rails everything got. After the show, Graham didn't sugarcoat it. He said straight up, he was just out of it. I mean, really out of it. Viewers were divided. Some said it was so bad it was actually funny, while others were cringing so hard they could barely watch. Either way, that night became part of talk show history. Not for the laughs, but for the total meltdown that unfolded live on TV. For a show built on clever banter and spontaneous fun, that Mark Wahlberg episode pushed things way past comedy and straight into train wreck territory. Wahlberg later laughed it off, admitting he'd had a few too many before filming and maybe enjoyed himself a little too much. But the damage was done. Fans still talk about it to this day as one of the most chaotic moments ever aired. That night proved that even the most confident stars can throw the whole studio off balance, leaving Graham scrambling to keep control of his own show. And now, number 3, Robert De Niro. This one was tough in a completely different way. Robert De Niro, the Hollywood legend himself, Oscar winner, cinema icon, and easily one of the greatest actors of all time, has also earned a rep for being one of the hardest people to interview. And when he showed up on the Graham Norton show, that reputation hit full force. Even before the cameras rolled, you could feel that this was going to be a challenge. Graham tried his best to bring out De Niro's charm, but the man gave nothing away, stone-faced, reserved, barely cracking a smile. For someone who can dominate a movie screen, he sure made that couch feel ice cold. The silence, the short answers, the poker face expressions, it was all there. From the moment Robert De Niro took a seat on that famous red couch, the energy in the room completely shifted. No chaos, no bad attitude, just this wall of calm so thick you could feel it from your couch at home. Unlike most guests who come ready to laugh, joke, and swap wild stories, De Niro's vibe was pure lockdown mode. His answers were short, cautious, and perfectly measured, leaving Graham with almost nothing to work with. Now, Graham Norton's known for being the guy who can crack anyone open, even the shyest stars. But with De Niro, he had to pull every trick out of his hosting playbook just to keep the conversation alive. Robert would nod politely, flash a tiny smile now and then, and drop a few carefully chosen words. That was it. The show's usual fast-paced rhythm slowed to a crawl, and you could see Graham working hard to break through that legendary poker face. He tried everything: jokes, lighthearted banter, cheeky little questions, but De Niro stayed calm, collected, and unreadable. At one point, the tension was so thick that Graham finally joked, "This is hard work, Robert," and the crowd burst out laughing. That one line said it all. Even Graham Norton, the master of smooth talk, was struggling to keep the vibe alive. For a host who's seen it all, That moment was a serious test of patience and skill. But here's the twist. It wasn't boring, not even close. The audience couldn't look away. It was like watching two completely different worlds collide, one full of energy and laughter, the other quiet and mysterious. Somehow that contrast made it fascinating to watch. By the end, the whole segment had this strange, powerful calm to it. It wasn't about jokes or chaos. It was about watching a Hollywood legend just be himself. No character, no act, just real. Fans got to see De Niro's reserved, thoughtful side, and even though it wasn't the usual high-energy interview, it left a lasting impression long after the cameras stopped rolling. Now, number 4, Kevin Costner. His visit wasn't a disaster or a scandal, but it was awkward in a totally different way. The Graham Norton show is famous for its quick banter, cheeky teasing, and contagious energy. But Costner walked in with a vibe so chill it almost froze the room. He wasn't rude, not at all. He was just too calm, too composed for a show that thrives on playful chaos. Throughout the interview, Graham threw out his clever one-liners and goofy remarks, but Costner barely budged. His reactions stayed polite, cool, and serious, like he didn't quite catch the humor or just wasn't in that mood. The usual back and forth that makes the red couch so electric just disappeared. The result wasn't explosive. It was quietly tense. There were these long, heavy pauses between jokes that made the whole studio feel a little uneasy. You could sense the audience thinking, is this supposed to be funny? Graham, ever the pro, doubled down, pushing extra hard to keep things flowing, but it was clear Costner just wasn't vibing with the show's wild rhythm. It became a reminder that not every Hollywood star fits into the whirlwind that is the Graham Norton show. Costner's calm movie star cool might shine on the big screen, but it clashed with the spontaneous, slightly chaotic energy of Graham's stage. And that's okay. It happens. Graham's even said it himself. Some people just aren't made for this format. They don't get it, and that's fine. But it can make for a very long show. And wow, that quote fits the Costner episode perfectly. It wasn't wild or explosive, just weirdly offbeat. The whole thing left everyone watching caught between fascination and secondhand cringe. Number 5, Harvey Weinstein. Now this one hits different. Before his massive downfall and everything that later came to light, Weinstein actually appeared on the Graham Norton show, in an episode Graham probably wishes he could erase from history. Back then, Weinstein was still seen as one of the most powerful men in Hollywood, a mega producer whose name alone made people nervous. But even during that time, there were quiet whispers behind the scenes. Rumors of him being overly controlling, dominating conversations, and making people uncomfortable. And the moment he walked onto Graham's set, you could feel the shift in the air. The entire vibe changed. Suddenly, the studio felt heavy and tense. Long before the world knew the truth about him, Graham clearly sensed something wasn't right. Weinstein kept interrupting. Not just Graham, but the other guests too. He constantly steered the chat back to himself, bragging non-stop about his achievements and trying to keep all eyes on him. His arrogance was off the charts, and it instantly killed the playful energy that usually makes Graham's show shine. Graham, being the pro that he is, tried to steer things back on track, but it was obvious he was fighting to keep control. You could literally see him forcing that polite host smile while doing everything he could to save the atmosphere. It was uncomfortable to watch, like seeing someone wrestle to keep a show afloat while the guest refused to play along. Years later, after everything came out and the truth about Weinstein's actions rocked Hollywood, Graham looked back on that episode with new eyes. He even admitted, "I had no idea at the time, but looking back, it all starts to make sense." That moment now feels eerie, like an early glimpse behind the mask of a man hiding something much darker. It's one interview neither Graham nor his audience will ever forget. Now, number 6, Daryl Hannah, and this one wasn't about chaos, attitude, or ego. It was about silence. Over his decades-long career, Graham has handled every type of celebrity personality imaginable. But when people ask him who his most difficult guest ever was, one name always comes up: Daryl Hannah. Unlike the loud or demanding guests who take over the couch, Daryl's challenge was the total opposite. She just wouldn't engage. Graham has even described that interview as one of the most painful experiences of his entire career, and anyone who's seen it knows exactly what he means. Her answers were shockingly short, sometimes just a single word, leaving these long, heavy pauses that stretched on forever. It wasn't rude. She wasn't snappy or hostile. It just felt like she had zero interest in being there. Graham tried everything. He cracked jokes, switched topics, threw out compliments, even pulled out his best charm moves, but nothing worked. The more he tried, the more awkward it got. The tension was so strong that even viewers at home could feel it through the screen. Later, Graham admitted that it honestly felt like she'd been forced to appear on the show against her will. And for someone like him, who thrives on chemistry, laughter, and natural flow, that kind of energy is pure agony. You could tell he was trying to stay upbeat, but the silence just kept swallowing every attempt at humor. It's no surprise that years later, Daryl Hannah still stands out in his memory as one of the toughest guests he's ever had on that famous red couch. Unlike other quiet celebrities who at least try to warm up, Daryl seemed completely disconnected, almost like she wanted to disappear right there on set. No matter how hard Graham tried, cracking jokes, switching topics, flashing that famous grin, nothing worked. Daryl Hannah just gave him nothing back. What should have been a fun, feel-good segment turned into a slow, tense struggle that had both Graham and the audience silently begging for it to end. For Graham, that painful night wasn't just an awkward memory. It was a real wake-up call about how unpredictable live hosting can be when a guest simply refuses to play along. But what makes his confessions about these nightmare interviews so fascinating isn't just the celebrity gossip. It's what they reveal about his mastery as a host. After decades in the spotlight, Graham's perfected the art of reading a room. He knows exactly when to switch gears, change his tone, or toss out a self-aware joke to save a sinking moment like it's second nature. Yet, those 6 guests, each in their own way, pushed him to his limit, showing that even the most charming man on TV has boundaries. The truth is, not every star is made for talk shows. Some shine brightest when they've got a script and camera angles working in their favor. But take that away, put them on a couch under bright lights, and suddenly they freeze. Their movie magic disappears, replaced with nerves, awkward silence, or over-the-top energy that turns smooth conversation into pure chaos. Take Mark Wahlberg, for example. His problem wasn't holding back. It was too much energy. Instead of conversation, it became a circus. Then you've got guests like Daryl Hannah, who seem to hate every second of the press circuit, treating interviews like an obligation rather than an opportunity to connect. But here's what makes Graham Norton stand out. He never lets those awkward moments sink his show. When things go off the rails, he doesn't panic. He adapts. For every painful interview that drags, there are dozens of episodes where he turns pure chemistry between guests into comedy gold. His genius format, stacking multiple stars on one couch, often saves him. When one guest goes silent or weird, another jumps in, cracking jokes, teasing, or flipping the energy back to fun. It's like a built-in safety net of star power and laughter. And here's the real magic. Graham doesn't try to hide the awkwardness when it hits. He owns it. A sly glance at the camera, a cheeky smirk, or a self-deprecating line like, "Well, this is going great," instantly resets the mood. The audience bursts out laughing, not at him, but with him. That's the trick. He turns tension into comedy with nothing but timing and honesty. That's why people adore him. He's not pretending to be perfect. He's real, relatable, and totally unafraid to laugh at the mess. And that's rare in an industry where most hosts try too hard to stay polished. Graham gives audiences realness every single time, and that's exactly why, even after all the awkward encounters and tough interviews, Graham Norton remains one of the best talk show hosts alive. While so many shows have faded, tried to reinvent themselves, or lost that spark, the Graham Norton Show just keeps thriving, and there's a reason for that. It's never stiff or overproduced. It's a party. The atmosphere feels alive, warm, and unpredictable. Unlike most American talk shows that stick to safe, one-on-one setups and heavily scripted segments, Graham throws everyone together on the same couch, adds a couple of drinks, and lets chaos turn into magic. That's his secret weapon. He creates a space where celebrities can finally drop the act, loosen up, and show the sides of themselves fans never get to see anywhere else. You can't fake that energy. Graham Norton might throw a bold question or two, but he never crosses the line into being mean. He delivers it all with that signature grin, the one that instantly tells guests, "Relax, it's all in good fun." His laughter is contagious, his curiosity feels real, and his warmth is so natural that even the most closed-off stars can't help but open up and spill a little extra. That's the secret to what makes the Graham Norton Show so addictive. It's that perfect balance between control and chaos. Sure, Graham's the captain steering the ship, but when something wild or hilarious happens, he doesn't shut it down. He lets it roll. That's where the magic lives. He knows exactly when to step back and let those unscripted moments breathe, giving the audience pure, unfiltered fun. Some of the most iconic viral clips from his show were born out of those random, unplanned moments, like when two big-name celebs meet for the first time on that legendary red couch and instantly click or clash in the funniest way possible. It's spontaneous, it's messy, and it's real. And honestly, these tough guest encounters, they've turned into lessons, not just for Graham, but for everyone watching. They remind us that fame doesn't automatically equal easy conversation. Just because someone shines on the big screen doesn't mean they'll sparkle in real life. Some stars can command a movie set like pros, but the second the script's gone and the cameras are live, they freeze. Others who seem naturally magnetic in film sometimes lose that glow the moment they're just being themselves. There's something so human about that, and that's what keeps fans hooked. Watching even a seasoned pro like Graham Norton struggle to connect reminds us that beneath all the glitz and glam, celebrities are just people trying to talk, laugh, and connect, same as everyone else. Sometimes it flows, sometimes it totally falls flat. The fact that Graham's finally started naming names after years of politely dodging the worst guest question says a lot about where he's at now. It shows how confident and secure he's become in his success. He doesn't have to play it safe anymore. He's earned his spot at the top. Now he can be honest about the chaos, the awkwardness, and the behind-the-scenes truth, without worrying about upsetting anyone or risking his place in the industry. And let's be real, there's definitely a subtle warning tucked in there too. If you come on my show, come ready to chat, or you might just end up on the list. Even with those awkward offbeat moments, the Graham Norton Show is still must-watch TV for millions around the world. Every week, a new lineup of stars takes their turn on that couch, bringing wild stories, surprising chemistry, and that spark of unpredictability that keeps viewers glued to their screens. At 62, Graham hasn't lost a single ounce of his magic. He's still quick, witty, and razor-sharp, effortlessly flipping between humor, heart, and those cheeky moments that make guests feel right at home. You can tell he loves what he does, and that joy radiates through every episode, even when a guest clearly isn't giving him much to work with. Over the years, he's built more than just a talk show. He's built an entire brand, a vibe, a legacy that's going to outlast the red couch itself. His formula just works. A genius mix of humor, honesty, and heart that makes audiences feel like they're part of the conversation instead of just watching from home. And here's the fun twist. The awkward interviews we've been talking about, they've become part of the show's legend. Fans still laugh about Mark Wahlberg's wild, out-of-control night. They still debate what was really going through Mickey Rourke's mind during that painfully silent episode. And yep, they still wonder what could have possibly made Daryl Hannah finally loosen up on that couch. These uncomfortable moments, those painfully awkward silences, weird exchanges, and offbeat vibes have somehow become just as iconic as the funniest or most heartwarming ones. In their own strange way, they're part of what makes the Graham Norton show legendary. When you look at Graham Norton's rise, from a broke dreamer grinding it out in London comedy clubs to one of the most respected and beloved talk show hosts on earth, it's way more than a success story. It's proof that real talent, patience, and staying true to yourself can turn even the toughest moments into pure gold. What's crazy is that Graham's honesty about his most difficult guests doesn't hurt his image. It makes it even more impressive. Think about it. After thousands of interviews, he can count his truly hard ones on one hand. That says everything about his skill, class, and total professionalism. Those 6 infamous names, Mickey Rourke, Mark Wahlberg, Robert De Niro, Kevin Costner, Harvey Weinstein, and Daryl Hannah, stand out not because they ruined the show, but because they're rare exceptions in a career filled with smooth laughs and viral brilliance. They're the nights when Graham's trademark wit and charm just couldn't break through, when even his legendary hosting powers met their match. And that's what makes his story so real. Even icons have off nights. But here's where Graham sets himself apart. He never lets those moments define him. He laughs it off, learns from it, and keeps moving forward stronger than before. That mix of humor, resilience, and grace is exactly why fans stay loyal year after year. So now it's your turn. What do you think about Graham Norton's most difficult guests? Have you ever seen those famously uncomfortable interviews? Which one do you think would have been the hardest to handle if you were in his seat? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We seriously want to hear from you. Tell us your favorite Graham Norton moments, the hilarious ones, the painfully awkward ones, or the times you just sat there saying, "Wow, did that really just happen?" If you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes deep dive into one of TV's most iconic shows, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the next drop. We've got plenty more wild celebrity stories, talk show secrets, and unbelievable behind-the-scenes drama coming your way. Whether you've been watching The Graham Norton Show for years or just discovered it, there's always something new to love. Graham has completely redefined what a talk show can be, from those wild, spontaneous highs to the cringe-worthy lows that make everyone hold their breath. Every single episode, he walks that fine line between fun and chaos, and that's what keeps us all coming back. The beauty of The Graham Norton Show is that even the weird or uncomfortable moments become part of its legend. Fans still crack up over Mark Wahlberg's wild, off-the-rails night. They still wonder what was going through Mickey Rourke's head during his moody silence. And yes, they're still debating what could have made Daryl Hannah relax on that couch. Every imperfect pause, every awkward glance, it all adds to the magic. It's what makes the show feel alive, unscripted, and completely unforgettable. Because let's face it, when things go off script, that's when the real entertainment begins. So next time you're watching a flawless, smooth celebrity interview, take a second to appreciate just how much instinct and skill it takes to make it look that easy. Graham Norton has proven time and time again, it's not always smooth sailing, but that's exactly what makes the great moments shine even brighter. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video for more shocking celebrity stories, untold talk show secrets, and behind-the-scenes moments you won't believe. See you next time.